ONaF Flumpty's franchise is a series of great games with a sharp learning curve to them. While these games have a great reputation, how good is it? Does it live up to the hype? Let's talk about this. But first, I had to bring up something. I need to thank you all for getting us to 62 subs. I never thought we would hit 10, but there's something I would love to see if we could get to. If we can get to 100 by the end of the year, then I will do a full playthrough on stream of FNAF Help Wanted, the base game. Hopefully we could get there, and I can torture myself, but back to the video. ONaF Flumpty's 1 is kind of like a kiddie roller coaster. When you played it when you're younger, it seemed amazing, it seemed crazy. But when you try it now, it seems boring and repetitive. That is this game. Side note, I know I ripped this from Yeah, but I don't care, it perfectly fits. So, yeah, deal with it. This is a game in which you're in a cookie cutter FNAF 1 style office, with only a handful of non-repetitive characters. First, let's get back to the whole point of this. So we're going to be going by each hour. Hour 12. We see the birthday boy and Flumpty are the only ones moving. These two characters are the Bonnie and Chica of this game, with Flumpty being Bonnie and birthday boy being Chica. Although there is a story here.
Flumpty. I'm an egg. I'm immune to the plot and I can transcend time and space. Also, I'm coming after you. You can figure out the rest. Have fun.
So the gist is, you've been kidnapped by Flumpty, who has trapped you to play a game. Ha ha ha, mandatory Saw reference over. Moving on to the next notable hour. Hour 2. This is the hour that the Beaver, who is the Foxy for this game, becomes active. Not until hour 4 does anything new occur. At this time, the Clown Nose, Strong Fist, and the Eyesore, who are the only original characters, become active. Editor's note that there's another Bonnie character, that being the Red Man, who appears on the left door, i.e. Bonnie. Also, second editor's note here. This is just another way of saying it. I was bored and I'm being very uncreative. But anyways, these two characters work like this. The Eyesore, or the Eye Pit, shows how many camera flips you have left until Grunkfist appears. And if you flip the camera 30 times, he jump scares you. This lasts until 6 AM when you get this credit scene. Yo, let's go! Damn. Heck yeah. Oh. Jeez, that was intense. That was very much intense. Oh. Alright. Thank goodness I actually, I was actually able to do it. Because that would have been so hard. Now on to the second game. One Night at Flumpty's 2. Now this game. This is the real reason why I wanted to make this. This game has to be the most infuriating game I've ever played. This game I've spent 3 whole days playing, and I wasn't even able to beat Hard Boiled. Although I was able to beat the regular mode, but that's besides the point. So, the only thing that's actually different in this game is really the office and a couple of mechanics. So, let's talk about The Office first, because I need to pad the runtime. So this game's mechanic is exposure, and every time a character sees you, you gain exposure. If you have too much exposure, you die. Same case here. However, there is one character who doesn't abide by that. That is Al. This acts as Foxy for this game. Well, so obviously, you've noticed the vents. That's directly connected to Al. Basically what happens is, it flies through one of the vents, which the only way that you can know is by checking the cameras. If you don't, you will die. This brings us to the second main mechanic, the laptop. The laptop runs on a really crappy battery, which only charges when you aren't looking at it and the lights are on. So basically this laptop is a laptop from the 90s, and you have to constantly check it so you don't have to deal with exposure. Oh yeah, the light switch concept is basically the mask from FNAF 2. That's my way of saying it's just how you don't get caught by the mascots. Now that we're done with that, let's talk about the night. So, like many FNAF fan games, it starts at midnight, with Flumpty and the birthday boy becoming active, without becoming active the same hour as them. At hour 2, or 2 a.m., Drunk Fist becomes active. Yes, the Clown Man is back, even though he does not fit at all in this game, which is something that oddly irritates me. He works with the patience meter, which starts at 2,000. Quickly goes down, and they will pop out of the wall where the Declaration of Independence is. Which, again, no clue why that's how they just kind of come out. However, that is besides the point. Oh yeah, side note, the Red Man comes back as a computer virus and appears every so often. This starts at 3 a.m. After this, at 4 a.m., the Eye Sword comes out of its pit. This works just like the Birthday Boy, but quicker. This is quite frustrating. While I love games that make me frustrated, these games have pissed me off beyond belief. We have to talk about one of the most annoying things in this game, Golden Flumpty. Now, Golden Flumpty is a character who does appear in the first game, but if I'm not wrong, it only appears by random luck. Golden Flumpty in this game appears at 4 a.m. and you need to flip up the camera, which could put you in the position to be exposed, which leads to a jump scare. Although from there on, it's just keeping track of all of the other characters, and that all just becoming harder and sped up, with the end ending in a really cutesy 8-bit credits. Now, I would love to tell you about how I feel about these games, but unfortunately, there's a third game. Well, maybe not unfortunately, but it's definitely something that now this is unfortunately wasn't able to beat, so I don't know what exactly happens, but here is what I've noticed. You are basically told that you've never beaten the game, and that this was more or less your last chance. So, good luck. This game starts with the birthday boy becoming active after the phone call is done. Takes about 40-50 seconds until he's at your office. At 1 a.m., the clown, Drunk Fist, becomes active. His quirk this time is you can't take pictures of him no matter what. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about this office and what you have to actually defend yourself. So you're in a room that is a freezer, which if you don't make your temperature higher, you freeze and can't do anything from there. Which is where our next part comes in. Furnace, which is to the left of you. This is where the red man shows up, but this is the only place that you can go to heat up. Now you must have noticed I've said left of the room. You must be wondering, wait, is there a right to this room? Yes, there is. This is where the vent where now I'm not even kidding you, the beaver owl comes out, which is, yes, a thing. And here's what it looks like. Edited James, don't put any sus fan art or anything. And the only thing you have to defend yourself is a camera with 20 flashes. So you have to use it sparingly. And the camera system, which if you don't use, then first off, what's wrong with you? This is a fan game. Second off, you need it. So, anyways, before I yell at you, back to the gameplay. So the red man becomes active around 1 a.m.-ish, but doesn't move until 2 a.m. and becomes a consistent nuisance. Yes, you need the furnace to heat yourself, but that's where he enters. So, of course, that's a bad thing, and if you don't think that, then you're absolutely insane. With us at 2 a.m., the owl beaver thing starts to crawl out of a jacuzzi. Again, what is this game? What is this? This feels like a shitpost. And I haven't seen any other parts of it that is that. So before I cry while writing the script, let's just move on. So finally, we're on to my idiotic opinions on these games. And if I haven't made it clear enough, I'm not the biggest quote-unquote fan, but I do appreciate these games for what they are. So, let's start off with the one I dislike the least. One Day at Flumpty's 1. This game is what I would call a solid C+ game, not C++ for you coding nerds. But hey, you win some, you lose some. Here's my reasoning. For the time, this was an amazing FNAF clone, and yes, if not wrong, the creator even called it that. And it had a pretty cool hook and some good gameplay, but for me, it just wasn't creative enough. But that's fine. Some things just aren't meant to be anything besides dumb fun. Would I like a more diverse cast and maybe an hour lasting longer? Yes, I would love that. But this game has its own thing going on, and even though tedious, I have found myself playing it while I was bored. But frankly, I love it for dumb fun. But that is the only good thing about it. With the creative ideas from the time, seeing other game makers create something more engaging than this, less gameplay, I feel like this could have been an A-list game. However, it isn't, which is definitely disappointing. When almost everything besides the office stays the same in the next game. One Day at Flumpty's 2. It's basically just the same game, but with a fantastic office that actually complements the characters in the franchise. With this being said, I do have a problem with it. The game's core concepts just don't change, and the characters who may be placed, at least that being the case for the owl and the beaver, nothing else really changes on that end. Which is why I'm so disappointed in this game. It could could have been so epic. New characters, complementing the environment, and vice versa. But no, this is just the same deal as the last game. The creativity was lacking, and it could have had so many good mechanics. Though with that being said, I have to be honest and objective to my feelings about it. I had to rate it a B-. This game fell into the same trap as the last. Now, for the one I genuinely hate, ONaF Flumpty's 3. This game is so hard for the best of reasons, which is so frustrating because I really want to hate this game. I want to bully it, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's amazing. Sure, it keeps a lot of the same characters, but they're used in heavily different ways, with the game not feeling unnecessarily hard, but with how perfectly the environment and the characters work together, creates if not a, perfect FNAF fan game. Although I genuinely hate it. That just makes me want to, but in a way that just makes me want to play more. It's so insanely good, but it works too well. With everything coming down to quick time reactions, trying to find the character before you die. I.e., that effing clown, which always killed me. But it just all works in a self-hatred loop of a pleasing masochism that plagues this land. That just makes me want to play it and beat it out of pure spite. Which, even though I very much don't want to, I have to rate it an A+. Because it's just an amazing game that just objectively works and plays amazingly and smoothly. These games have put me through a personal mental hell, but in the best way possible. These games legitimately have made me want to cry from how difficult it is. But that just makes me want to keep coming back for more, which is truly insane. How the game maker, Jono Chrome, not sure if that's pronounced right. Oh, yeah. That's dude who created the game. Games. But Jono Chrome has made something truly beautiful and frustrating. It made me feel like all my victories were well earned and each one of my defeats were, quite frankly, deserved. To conclude, this experience was amazing. And you should without doubt check out these games, especially if you're a masochist like me. So long folks, see you next time for something else that brings me to tears. But I'm gonna go play some Starfield and get some sleep, so bye-bye, I love y'all, can't wait to see you guys later. Oh yeah, sub, like, comment, all that good stuff, hit that bell, and yeah, let's get to 100 baby. Mwah.